Hello, my name is Jim. Welcome to my booktube channel about books and reading and stuff. This video is going to be a bucket list video, a bucket list of books I want to read before I die. I was tagged by Shelley Swearingen, who was tagged in turn by SHAWN the Book Maniac, and the inspiration of this was a podcast called the Mookse and the Gripes podcast. So this is the Mookse and the Gripes bucket list tag, and I'll link to SHAWN's video, Shelley's video and the podcast in the doobly-doo below. So I'll give you the list of the 10 books I want to read before I die. An added thing with this tag is you should choose 2 you think I should read by the end of 2022. I don't have the physical books, so I can't hold them up for you. I'll put up pictures of the various covers. The first is Germinal by Emile Zola. I haven't read any Emile Zola. I have the impression he's a bit like a French Dickens, and he was impressive in the Dreyfus Affair, which Elizabeth at Booking and Books talks about on her channel. Second would be The White Castle by Orhan Pamuk. I've read a few books by Pamuk, including My Name is Red and Istanbul, but I haven't read The White Castle. The Road to Wigan Pier by George Orwell. Again, I've read most of George Orwell's novels, but I haven't read The Road to Wigan Pier. This was looking at life in the north in the 1930s, and it'll be interesting what a southerner like Orwell made of the north at the time. Fourth, I have Stalin, The Court of the Red Tsar by Simon Sebag Montefiore. This would be the companion piece to this, the young Stalin. This is about Stalin before he rose to power. Stalin in The Court of the Red Tsar is after he becomes leader of the Communist Party and the Soviet Union. So that would be interesting. Then Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. This was the inspiration for Blade Runner. I've read a lot of science fiction, but I haven't read this one, and this is one of the classics of science fiction. Then there's The Stand by Stephen King. I don't actually have any Stephen King novels here. I just have this unofficial biography of Stephen King, The Haunted Heart. I'd like to read The Stand. It's a massive tome, but it's the one you should really read if you're into Stephen King at all. And I've read a lot of Stephen King, but not The Stand. War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I've started it a couple of times and I've bailed on it a couple of times. I need more perseverance with this. I did read Anna Karenina earlier this year, and I'll link to my review of Anna Karenina here. The Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. Last month I read Beloved, which if I hadn't read it would be on this list. This has been on my bucket list for a long time, and I'm glad I finally read it. It's such a complex book, I'm still processing it all, and there's such a lot of pain in here, the pain of slavery, but it's a fantastic read, and I want to read more of Toni Morrison. There's Flaubert's Parrot by Julian Barnes. I was inspired by this because of the name Flaubert, and I want to read Flaubert, particularly L'Éducation Sentimentale, because Kafka likes Flaubert, so it's sort of going from one author to another. And then Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. Again, I've read a lot of Margaret Atwood. I've read The Handmaid's Tale, I've read Blind Assassin. But I haven't read Oryx and Crake, and I hear it's very good. And finally, The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann, which a lot of booktubers I respect recommend. So those are my 10 books to read before I die, and you can choose 2 of those which you think I should read by the end of 2022. Who do I tag? I'll tag Erica at Passage of Time, because I'm curious what's on her bucket list. She's always saying that she's a very ordinary person, but I think she's quite extraordinary. Mark Nash, I think he'll have some interesting answers. And also Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures. She's a Turkish booktuber who reads in English, and I'd like to know what's on her bucket list. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe below, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.